So I'm very, very happy to be here with you this evening, for me perhaps. And it gives me extra energy and joy when I see so many people. When at one time we thought it is going to be impossible for us to meet each other, God has already pre planned a way for us that through the growth of science, even though we have been curfewed or we have been quarantined in our own houses and rooms, still we can see, meet, and talk to each other. This is a beautiful scenario. I know for sure the most part of attendees are the Formees, the Formees, who are the future of the church. Once upon a time, I was a Formee myself, very happy and I promise you that I have not seen so many Formees at a stretch. No, I'm struggling to view you all in the different screens, and it gives me extra joy and energy. So many Formees from so many countries. Blessed are we. Blessed are we. Friends, for these 3 days, we start discussing about how to improve our community life. How to improve our community life. Would not happen to us once in for all. Every time we have a transfer, would not happen every time we go to a new place. All these three stages we have to be continually, eternally keep living. All these three stages we have to be continually, eternally. So here we begin our stages we have to be eternally. So here we begin our stages we have to be community life eternally. So here we begin our stages we have to be. Our Holy Father Francis says, my vocation is nothing but a vocation to live in a community. We all must have been familiar with the so beautiful song, no man can live as an island. None of us can live as an island. I cannot be priest to myself. I cannot be a reverend sister to myself alone. I have been ordained, and we all profess for the sake of others. So that is what our Holy Father reiterates. My dear brothers and sisters, for heaven's sake, from the beginning, keep it in your mind that you are not going to serve people alone. Alone. If we begin to serve people alone, we would only experience hell on earth. Always think there is a community to support us. Most of the time, even the well-versed, dedicated religious ceased to understand this fact. That's what Holy Father says. We live in a community. It is not an impediment. It is not a hazard for our life. Rather, it is going to be a support. When? When is it going to be a support for me? If only I am able to understand the people in their perspective. If only I am able to understand my own brother or sister in their perspective. Friends, I would like to base our discussion on Isaiah 11, 6 to 9. May I invite one of you to read, because for next 1.5 hours I am going to speak. So I think one of you get a privilege to read it, provided that you unmute yourself, make yourself visible, look at it, and read it aloud to all of us. Could one of you raise your hand? If you raise hand, I think Brother Ben will help us to read this text, and we don't have all the day. Please be quick. Yeah, it is GS pre-novices. You could unmute and start reading.
And the wolf will dwell with the lamb, and the leopard will lie down with the young goat, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and the little boy will lead them.
What's happening? Did my screen vanish?
Yes, Father.
Oh, something happened here. No.
We share the screen. The sharing has gone.
Yep. Can you see it now?
Yes, Father.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Also, the cow and the bear will graze. Their young will lie down together, and the lion will eat straw like the ox. The nursing child will play by the hole of the cobra, and the weaned child will put his hand on the viper's den. They will not hurt or destroy in all my holy mountain. For the earth will be full of knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea.
Friends, can you please take a moment in silence, just gently close your eyes and think back the words that are written here, you heard, read. It is all unusual thing that is spoken of. If only you could bring to your imagination one place where it can exist. Isaiah predicts the future. In the future, it is going to be. Did that future had been made past? Or whether had it happened ever? Can it happen ever? Honestly answer to yourself. Yeah, you can gently open your eyes and see, can all these animals ever live together? You can put it in the chat box, your answers. Yes, my voice breaking, sorry. Am I audible to you?
It's very audible, Father. Please go.
Like someone saying it's breaking. Okay,
They have to
so
check this.
my question is, can all these animals as presupposed by Isaiah, did it ever happen? I think one Marshall is saying yes. Yes, where? Where? If you say yes, where? Did you imagine that? Ark of Noah, yeah, it happened in Ark of Noah, where the human being had their life again, one more time. And for the most part, you people are saying no. But I had a privilege of capturing some pictures where the dream or prophecy of Isaiah had come into life. And that is here. This is one of the dreams of Isaiah coming together. Can you believe people are thinking, oh, somebody who has gone mad has been invited to give us the session. This father, what is his name? Suresh Raj from Anugraha, must be gone mad long ago. Yeah, yes. Somebody says it is community life. It is community life. Take, for example, it says that the lion will eat the straw. I used to remember when I was growing up, my mother used to say, in order for that Suresh to eat, he always needs the flavor of non-vegetarian. In order for Suresh to eat something, there has to be non-vegetarian. And whenever I introduce myself or my mother introduces me to somebody else says, he is my son and I am Suresh, I say, I am a pure non-vegetarian, I say, I am a pure non-vegetarian. But what happens in Christian culture, at least in India where I live, on Fridays in the communities, compulsorily they serve only vegetarian. Even though I am So I have to eat vegetarian on Fridays, even though I call myself a lion who is fond and favor of eating non-vegetarian in everyday meal. In order to participate in the true and authentic community living, I have to challenge myself as presupposed by Isaiah, lion eats straw. Friends, there are three types of communities. The first one is initial community, which you have seen yesterday. And what we are going to see today is chaotic community. Tomorrow, perhaps, we will discuss more on loving community. Friends, initial community is always beautiful. It is always beautiful. You never ever can have a dis. Um, when we meet people for the first time, when we all gather together for the first time, we are so happy pleasing each other. We are excited to see the other person for a new time. Think of the first initial days. that you entered into the religious life. There were new faces. Whenever you looked at the new faces, even though there is a fear of new people within you, you have never shown that fear, or you never ever got angry against them. You could have smiled this way. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nice to meet you, sister. Very good. Everything must have happened. Think of the ever first day. Somebody must have helped you to carry your luggage, right? And they may have done some mistakes. They may have dropped the luggage onto the floor or onto your leg, or they may have hurt you. It's okay, sister. No problem, no problem. This is absolutely no problem. And you go to the refectory to serve yourself a breakfast or a lunch or dinner, significant things, the favorite dish is already over. You would never demand that it's okay, I am okay. That is an initial fervor. And when we initially meet each other, there are only few rules. Not even your director or directress or rector or rectress have introduced to you to what you need to do or need not to do. What all we think is, I came here to pray and become a sister. So I am going to eat, I am going to sleep, I am going to pray, and I will become a sister. We were not introduced to the rules or constitutions of the congregation. Neither later on we have adopted or evolved to so many rules and regulations. That had not happened to us. And there is a high dependence on the formator. I was a formator myself immediately after my ordination. I was in the novitiate, and brothers always used to look at my face. For everything, they used to look at my face. Friends, the first years you said and you entered the congregation, the initial month, the initial year, you think of that, you have been highly motivated. You never ever had any clue to do something wrong. And individual roles and responsibilities were unclear. Do you know where it ended? Everybody become responsible. Everybody become responsible. I remember, when I entered into a classroom and there is no chalk, when I ask one brother to bring a chalk, group of brothers will run to obtain a chalk for me. Everybody will run. That is the initial formation. If I cough, I need some water. Almost 5 to 10 gallons of water will be brought. All the brothers, Father, take this, take that. Usually it will happen initially. And there are a lot of cooperation and support. Do you know why? Yesterday, Father must have mentioned to you, we have something called the happy hormones. Serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, and GABA. Initially, they secrete very more. We are very much excited. We are so enthusiastic. Physically and psychologically, we are charged so much. So in the initial community, there is an outpouring or overflowing of these happy hormones. So there is lot of adjustability. There is lot of give and take. There is lot of happiness. After some time, you get into something called a chaotic community. Sigmund Freud would call it a true community. It is a true self. Friends, how many times can I sacrifice my coffee in the morning? Initially, for the first day, I am okay to sacrifice. If there is no coffee, I say I'm okay. Second day, I'm okay. Third day, fourth day, fifth day, sixth day. I am the only person who is deprived of coffee all the time. You start complaining. Even if your complaint is not heard, then you start abusing others physically and verbally. That's where your true self will come. That becomes a chaotic community. That's where our vested interest will fall into their places. Our vested interest, our true self. And we try to fight and dominate each other. Friends, initially, Before the mass, everybody must have got up to light the candle. After 1 month, nobody will get up. Nobody will get up. Is this my duty? Should I light the candle for the mass? Let the other sister light up. Let the other brother light up. I will sit here. If I do it, and perhaps eternally I have to do it. So let me not do it. Let me play arrogant. Let me play arrogant so that others will take in charge of all those things. And that will consequently evolve subgroups. Subgroups. In case if you are you are with multicultural community, multilingual community, multi-caste community, even though you be innocent, the other person will come and say, I have been always noticing it is only you who sweep the floor. Why can't the other person sweep the floor? If you sweep, either you sweep or I sweep. None of the other people are sweeping. So we all will join together and retaliate. Let us not do this work. Let us not do this job. And that's where our formators begin to receive challenges. Friends, when I was an assistant novice master, I had people from 4 states. Literally, I have experienced this. Literally, I have experienced this. In initial community, a job became everyone's job. And in the chaotic community, one job becomes no one else's job. No one is ready to take responsibility. So there is plenty of uncertainties, and there is distraction in relationship, and we get into so many emotional issues. You know why it happens? It happens because of our unfulfilled needs in the past, and unfinished business in the past, an unintegrated self. I presume that Father has talked sufficiently about it. If not directly, he must have talked about 3 basic needs of human beings. Need to idealize, need to mirror. What's the third one? Can you put it in the chat box?
Twinship.
It is need to twinship. Need for validation. Yes. So when all these things come together, initially we were very, very loving. We were showing our love and friendship to others. But now I become more aware of that there is something I have been expecting in my life that had not taken place for me. And I become aware of, then my true self comes in. My true self comes in. Friends, loving community we will see later, because that's what you're going to see tomorrow. So I skip that. Friends, so far, do you have any doubt? Can you hear me? Friends, can you hear me? Do you have any doubt so far?
We can hear you, Father.
No, Father.
No, Father.
Oh, Father.
I talked to you about, I gave an introduction to the initial community that happened. In other words, my own way, I have paraphrased or gave a recap of what Father must have taught you yesterday, what happens in initial community. And when initial community, the pace is over, we will slowly switch over to something called chaotic community, wherein our defense personality, our true self will come out based on the unintegrated self, unfulfilled needs, and unfinished business. And that will give us assent to something called animal instinct. Animal instincts. All of us would be imitating or would be behaving an animal. I don't say we would exactly, what is that? We would exactly behave like an animal. Perhaps, as I am saying, you would understand. You would say, no, no, Father, you are saying 100% right. I literally live with a donkey next to me. I literally live with a dog next to me. You would say that. But unaware of ourselves, because of all unmet needs, our the true personality that we have been carried, we have been given by the animals would come in realization in our lives, come to realization in our lives. The first one is cat. Some of us would behave brother cat or sister cat. If you grow cats, you would know what all its qualities. Cat is actually a unique animal. It is so loving, and it is very nice to have a cat, and it comes so close to you and rubs its what a furry skin against your body, and it tries to make you feel comfortable and all those things. Everything can happen, but there is one condition. What is that? If only the cat likes to do that for you. If only the cat wants to play with you, the cat will play with you. Even if you have cats in your community, I'm not talking about person cats. Real cats, you can think of that. We have got cat. We have got a cat. Whenever you call cat, pooch, 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 it would be walking. And as it walks, when you call it pooch, pooch, it looks at you so like that. And it would go away. Sometimes we are so serious praying, we are so serious giving class, but the cat will come and play with our card so friendly way. Cat has a quality that it will entertain you, or it will entertain the other if only it wants. If only it wants. On the other hand, dog is not that way. If you grow dogs, anytime you call a dog, it would respond to you. But cats will not respond to you that way. Sometimes cats will go to an extent, even though you feed a cat. In fact, it had happened in one of the dioceses of Tamil Nadu. A particular priest have actually retrieved a poor, hurtful cat with lots of wounds, and he treated with medicine. And this father was feeding the cat. So much so, both of them became so very friendly to each other. And this cat even would eat from the plate of the priest. So loving they were. Everybody who looked at the priest, they said, "Oh my God, how loving cat you have. How much you are friendly with each other." But one time what happened? The cook prepared a fried fish for the priest. This cat went there and ate most part of the fried fish from his own plate. The priest became very, very angry. So he brought a small little stick and started hitting the cat. He started hitting the cat. If you were to hit a dog, the dog would run. If you feed a dog and you hit it, that would run. The dog would feel literally powerless before you. But do you know what this cat did? It scratched its nail, so sharply into his neck. So much so he has contracted tetanus and died. The priest died because the cat attacked. And everybody was saying that but for the priest, the cat must have died long ago, dead and gone. It is he who cared for this cat. But this priest, you look at this cat, it is not thankful. Yes. In the same time, we will also have brother cats and sister cats in our community. Friends, if only they want some favor to be done to them, they will come to you and speak all flubbery words. Sister, can you do that? And all those things. Father, can you do that? I will be doing all those things. But once the job is over, they will wrap up and go. In case of emergency, you read to them, you run to them and ask, can you please help? They will look like that and go. Who are you? I don't have anything. They will wash their hand like Pilate. Friends, cat in the Bible is Cain. Cain in the Bible. He had a cat instinct. When all he needed his younger brother, he held him. The moment he knows that this younger brother is a threat to him, he was not even hesitated to kill him and do away. Friends, we will also have brother bull and sister bulls in our community. I am not talking in terms of size. I am not talking in terms of walking. I am talking in terms of character. Actually speaking, bulls are the strongest, one of the strongest animals that exist. It can attack any of his enemies. Any threat that comes before bull, the bull would smash them just like that and move away. If you had a chance to see bullfights in Spain, the bulls would go mad. There will be hundreds of men who are trying to control this bull, but the bull would never give control. It will never subdue to anybody else. He will just keep dashing everybody and moving forward so strongly and so vehemently. But it is amusing that if only there is a small little boy or a girl who stands before that bull and gives a guttural sound like this, the bull would not move, not even a step away. Do you know who is that person? The master of the bull. The master of the bull. Friends, one who feeds the bull takes that particular person as a master. After that, the bull would never ever challenge that particular person, even though that person is so tiny, so feeble, so small, so little. The bull will not challenge. But if opponent who is not the bull's master, even though that person is so huge as elephant, the bull will not worry. It will just do away with that person and go away. Bull in the Bible is Saint Peter. Peter was a very, very strong man. He was obedient to only one person in the whole of Bible, and that was Jesus. When Jesus speaks one word, Peter would not speak anything at all. In the same way, we will also have bulls in the community, brother bull and sister bull. Sometimes a superior, sometimes a companion, sometimes a spiritual director to whom this particular person will be obedient. To any other person, if any other person go to them with any suggestion or correction, immediately they will jump on them, dash them, finish them, smash them. But if only the superior comes, no. Okay, I'm okay. Nothing doing. All you said, I will do. I will be absolutely obedient. Friends, next person is brother or sister frog. We will have brother frog or sister frog. What is the quality of a frog? Friends, actually, on that day, snake does not have any appetite. The snake was not at all hungry. Snake was making on its way. It was going on its way. But what the frog does is, it thinks that it has so beautiful voice and starts singing. Grrr, grrr, grrr. The snake, which had no need of any lunch or dinner or breakfast, looks back at the frog sound. Oh, here is some prey for me. Let me go and grab it. The snake goes, kabak. It catches and makes a sumptuous meal out of this frog. Friends, we will also have frogs in the community. They will volunteer for all the problems. I can understand what happens with the sisters community and the parish church. The parish priest will try to extract at the most possible all the works from the sister community. So all the sisters will cease to speak before the parish priest, because if only you give one suggestion, immediately parish priest says, why don't you do that, sister? So everybody keeps quiet, but this particular sister, Father, can you change the altar? In an undue time, they take all the responsibility to themselves and start carrying the burden of others. There are also brothers who does that way. I remember, we give classes to the brothers, and I say, tomorrow you have an exam. Tomorrow you have an exam. And I pretend to forget that because I know that there are a lot of lessons to handle, and I cannot give exam on that day. And all the brothers will keep quiet and they'll be blinking like this. If only father remembers that we have got an exam, my God, we have to write an exam, and he will correct and give us the paper. So everybody will be blinking, nobody will say. But there is one frog brother there, brother frog there. Father, you said there is an exam today. What to do? It came from brothers themselves. I said, come on, take the piece of paper, write all these three questions, write the answers, and bring it to my room. They write the exams. I go through the papers. The brother who said that there is an exam that day must have failed in that exam. He may not have studied, but still he comes and volunteers. Why? Because he is brother frog. I have got a companion. We used to plead to him. Please don't speak anything. Whenever you open a mouth to the director or to the rector, we get into problem. Please don't speak. He says, no, don't worry, don't worry. I won't speak. But when the rector finishes the meeting, he would raise hand. Father, I have something to say. My God, another 1.5 hours is swallowed with him. So we got brother frog and sister frogs. The frog in the Bible is Goliath. He was a very strong man, but he shouted to David. He shouted to David, if only you can kill me, come on, hit me. You don't even have sword in your hand. Can you kill me? I don't imagine that you can kill me. Poor frog, if he had not shouted this way, Goliath's life could have been spared in the Bible. No, as the frog he shouted, eventually he lost his life. Friends, we have got now peacock, brother peacock or sister peacock. What do they do? Friends, actually peacock is a very beautiful animal. It's a very, very beautiful animal. Sorry, it's a bird. Sorry. Peacock is a so beautiful bird. I do not know how many of you have privilege to see it dancing. Maybe you have seen in screens, but naturally when it does, oh my God, so beautiful. Once I went to a particular diocese for preaching. I was accommodated in the bishop's house. It was located a little far from the city. And in the evening, I have seen few peacocks dancing so beautifully well. As I went to enjoy the dance, I heard someone shouting there, please chase those peacocks away. Chase those peacocks away. Let them not stay there. For me, it is once in lifetime experience. So I wanted to enjoy the dance of the peacock. But people who are living there are screaming and shouting. Why? This peacock does not relish in its beauty. This peacock does not relish in the beauty of the feather and the dance, the capacity to dance. Do you know what it does? In between, as it is dancing, it also tries to sing. Poor peacock does not have a sweet voice. It is called the gibbering. Peacock's gibbering. Gah, 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 that way. People who are very far can enjoy the dance of the peacock, but once it starts singing, nobody can tolerate it. So that is why who have been disturbed by this gibbering of peacock, always was wanting to chase those peacocks away. It is not satisfied with what the best quality it has. Rather, it tries to show something in which it does not have capacity. When I was in formation, that particular brother is not there. We are compulsorily have to learn an instrument. We have to learn an instrument. There were a lot of harmoniums, and this brother used to play harmonium. Only one brother was interested in playing tabla. The brother who has started learning harmonium immediately switched over to tabla. Then the director had a problem because there was only one tabla, but two brothers wanting to play. So he bought two tablas. And after some time, he switched over to playing violin. He said, I am not happy playing tabla because some are playing harmonium, one brother is playing tabla. So I am fed up playing tabla. Can you please buy me violin? Then director bought a violin. After some time, he said, I am fed up playing violin. I want to play triples, he said. Bangus, flute, drums. In the name of that brother, every single instrument to run an orchestra entered our community, but he had not mastered anything because he was a peacock. He only wants to show up. He's never happy and never content. Brothers, when I look at some of your face, I think you are identifying your companions. That is not my pure reason. I'm sharing all these things just so that we will be able to enhance our community living. I'll say, no, tomorrow we are going to see little more that how we can, improve our community living. The peacock in the Bible is Salome. She was a beautiful girl, multi-talented, but got abused just to behead John Baptist. She has been abused by his own father. She has been abused by his own mother. She dooms, she wastes all her talent and youthful. She only ties a sin on her head. Friends, next one is rabbit. Rabbit is unlike a cat, another friendly animal. If you have rabbits, if you go to the cage of the rabbit, they would not fear. They are not afraid. They would come so close to you and they start grazing and eating and all those things. They would not even mind that there is somebody standing. They are never threatened. Come on! All on a sudden there is a storm. If you drop something, immediately all the rabbits will fly to its hole and they will not come back. If you go and look at them from there, they will be looking at outside. They would be breathing, they will escape. Do you know what this brother rabbit and sister rabbits do in the community? If the community is going so peacefully well, they'll be moving on. But if there is a problem in the community, immediately they will run. They will get into your room and close the door and they will remain inside. Sometimes, some police people will come for the checkup in the community or some superiors come. Immediately, these people will go. Even though they hold responsibility to answer them, they would not do that. They say, go and tell them, I'm very, very busy. I cannot come at this time. I'm very, very busy. I'm held up, they would say. I know, I went to a particular community, sisters community. All the sister launched a complaint against the sister superior. Whenever there is a problem in the community, the sister superior goes to a retreat center. When I was working out with group dynamics, I asked that sister, why don't you settle the problem with your community? But the sister says, when I pray, God will settle it, Father. So whenever there is a problem, she goes peacefully to her retreat center and prays for 1 full week. And later on, again, he rings up and asks the community, is the problem settled? Then one of the sisters, no. Now we have the problem grown. It is little more exaggerated, elaborated problem. You come and settle it. No. I am going to pray all the more strongly. Expect me after 10 days only. She continues to be in the retreat center until all the problems are solved by themselves. This is the quality of the rabbits. The rabbit in the Bible is Pilate, and that is why he washes his hands. He does not want to take responsibility of what he needs to do. Friends, next one is tortoise. There is close parallelism between rabbit and tortoise. Rabbits run physically, right? Tortoise, it can, whenever it is in danger, it can withdraw itself into its shell, right? And nothing can break the big shell of the tortoise. As rabbit escapes from problems physically, tortoise will escape from problems emotionally. Even if there is a fire in the community, what this brother does is takes a plate full of his meal, serves his meal, go to his room and eats as if nothing is happening outside. He does not worry. And every community member is running to quench the fire, put off the fire. Nothing can disturb him. What he wants, he will achieve in his life. But emotionally, he will not extend anything at all. If somebody else comes and knocks at his door, come on, I am feeling suffocated at the night. I am not able to breathe. It had literally happened in one of our communities. The priest was struggling for his life. Almost he was experiencing heart attack. So he went and banged the door of one brother. Then he opened and said, "Can you please shout little more mildly? Because you are shouting alarmingly. I am not able to sleep." He closed the door again, went to bed, it seems. The poor brother, the poor priest was complaining. "I was in need of help. I was almost dying. This man did not take care of me." That is the quality of tortoise. It is Thomas the Apostle. Friends, whenever the disciples were together, Thomas was always in his own world. Thomas was always in his own world. Most of the time, he has been emotionally detached until Jesus has challenged him to come closer after his resurrection and to put his hands into his side. Until then, Thomas is depicted a unique personality. In some cultures, even he is called Doubting Thomas. Friends, next one is porcupine. Porcupine is an interesting animal. In fact, in my lifetime, I have seen a few. I do not know how many of you have seen. Do you know, porcupine moves simply like a small little cat, but at one time, what it does is it makes its body like a ball and starts moving to all where else crazily, everywhere it moves. You know, small children who are so attracted to this crazy movement of the porcupine, they want to hold the porcupine and hug it. But the moment somebody gets nearer to that, what does it do? It pokes the thorn and hurts them. Friends, actually, nobody would ever have an interest to get near to a porcupine by themselves. It is not so beautiful and inviting animals like a cat or a dog or a puppy or any other pet animal. Actually, when you look at a porcupine, you are afraid. But porcupine makes it a point to attract somebody else, attract a spectator to itself. But once they come closer, then it pokes its thorn. What a justice it is. Can it do? So this brother porcupine and sister porcupine is this way. They look at you, they gaze at you from far like that. Ah, smile. You meet them for the first time. Oh, so nice. The way they speak, beautiful. The words they use, so sweet. And you go close to them and ask, "How are you? If I am going to die, what are you going to do? Get away from here," they would say. "Good morning, father," you say. They look at you and smile. Then you say, "Good morning, sister. If it is a bad morning, what are you going to do? Are you going to die with me? Go away." This is the quality of brother porcupine. And they poke. The smiles are the reassurance for me. In fact, people have experienced porcupine in their own lives, I believe. Friends, you know, Sarah is a very good example of porcupine in the Bible. You know, Hagar has been so much abused by Sarah. It is Sarah who asked her slave Hagar, to give birth to the master. But once the purpose was served, she has been so much humiliated. Hagar had been so much humiliated by Sarah. The same way, we may also be compelled to live with the porcupine. Friends, next one is sheep. Friends, if you feed a sheep with grass, it would eat it. It would eat it. But when it is when once it finished eating, it will come to dash you and throw you down. Whatever food you give, the sheep would eat. In Tamil, you know, in my language, we have a proverb that goes like this: the sheep will always only believe in the butcher. In the butcher. Even though you feed a sheep, it would not come near to you, to run. But early in the morning, do you know who is a butcher? The butcher is the one who wants to slaughter the sheep, put the knife right into the necks of the sheep. But the sheep would accompany a butcher so happily. It sings so beautifully well and rubs the side of the butcher and so walks so closely, trusting in the butcher. we will also have sheep in the community. Friends, I'm not exaggerating. Simply it had happened, when I was in initial stage of formation, one of the brothers, he showed a side, the left side thigh, where I have seen it had been poked. It had been poked by lead pen so many times. I asked him what had happened. He said, the other brother who is sitting next to me is always poking me, he said. No, initial stage of formation. I was very, very angry. What is this? Can a brother poke and another brother this way? I was also one among them. So I said, today you don't sit next to him. Allow me to sit next to him, I said. If only he pokes once, I would give him 3 times to 10 times and I will teach him a lesson, I said. Okay. So on that day morning, when we went for the class, he was sitting in his usual place. When I came, I asked him to come away, move away, come on. I will sit next to him. And you sit where I used to sit. That's what I said. But do you know what he did? He got up from my seat, went to the left side, right side of the brother and sat there, leaving that brother in the middle. So far, he was sitting to his left. Because now I am sitting in the left, he went and sat in the right side. During the lunchtime, he said, do you know, Suresh, every time he used to poke at my right thigh, no? This time he has poked at my left thigh, he said. Why? Because he went and sat there. It is a typical sheep instinct where whomever may be the abusers, sheep will believe. The good example in the Bible is Samson. His praise for that woman. He knows for sure this woman has been plotting to kill him in several instances. But still Samson tries to believe him. So much so, he reveals his secret of strength, which lies in his head. And 3 times Samson escapes, but after disclosing the fact, he has been arrested and he has to lose his life. It is a sheep mentality. Friends, next one is tigress. Actually, this big cat, tigress, I'm not talking about tigress. This big cat is very, very soft animal. Anybody can go close to it. It would not harm. In the tiger's family, it's the male tiger that attacks and goes for hunting. Tigers are very, very passive and easy to move animals. But if the tigress is found with its cubs, small ones, little ones, it is so ferocious because the tigress knows the little ones depend on the tigress for protection. So it takes charge of those little ones and it is very, very ferocious. If anybody goes next to the tigress, zoom, it attacks. Whomsoever it may be, even it may be the father tiger, no problem. The lion, the king of the forest, no problem. The bull or rhinoceros, whomsoever it may be. The tigress is walking so restlessly up and down. Why? Because it has taken the responsibility of the little ones. So whomever comes next to them, it attacks them. We will also have brother tigress or sister tigress. Whenever they are free, you can go and talk to them. They are ready to eat with you. Socialize with you. You can make fun of them and all those things. But when they are in an office, when they have taken a particular job and do that, if you go and talk to them and if you try to go and distract them, they would say, no, for me, duty is important, nothing else. Yeah. Friends, am I boring you? People are shaking hands so fast. They stop sharing. I want to see your faces for some time. Am I boring you? We have another 30 minutes to go. So just to break the monotony, I want to ask you a question. It's a riddle. Let's say, how many 9 we have between 1 to 100? How many number 9 do we have between 1 to 100? Just to break the monotony. Don't think that this is a very important part of the lesson. Oh, 10 nines do we have? Anybody else? How many 9? Only 1 9 we have. 9 nines we have. 1, 1, 9, 10 so far. 20, 20, 19, 10. Oh, we also have got smart and intelligent people. Oh, 99, 9. So generous. Friends, actually, we have 29. Let's count. 9, 19, 29, 39, 49, 59, 69, 79, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, and 99. 29. So thanks for trying. Few people have already said that 29 that exists between 90. So how many times can you subtract 10 from 100? How many times can you subtract 10 from 100? I do not know. This is answer for which question? Somebody is saying 10 times. Once, 10 times. 11 times we can subtract 10 from 100. Yeah, friends, we can only once subtract 10 from 100 because the next time you will be subtracting it from 90, not from 100. 100 would already be erased. Thank you so much. Hope I think I have more bored you now than my classes because maths are usually that way. So tigress. I was talking about tigress. We have tigers in the Bible, Herodias. She had a purpose. If John the Baptist did not challenge that purpose, she may not have been worried about him at all. Because John the Baptist challenged the purpose of Herodias, then she has to show her tigress instincts. The next one is elephant. Friends, have you heard about an age-old story where a herd of rabbits live? Herd of rabbits live, and elephants, a group of elephants also make their way to take water. So what they do is they cross through the bushes where the rabbits were living. There were the rabbits were in thousands and the elephants were in hundreds because they were so huge in size and they walked all together so fast. The rabbits were not able to move from the place. They all ran away. So as the elephants go to take water into the pond every day, what happens is they destroy the bushes of the rabbits and kill few rabbits as well. So all the rabbits come together and they make a decision. They want to request the elephants to go through some other way to the pond. And the elephant says, no. This is the way for us. This is the way for us. This is how I need to walk. So I will walk this way. Nobody can destroy us. I don't worry about you, they say, right? So the elephants are like just self-justified animals. It would not make any adjustment for others' sake. Remember, a big elephant walking on the road. If something else is coming in front of it, that person or that thing has to move. But elephants can walk still steadily, stronger that way. They cannot be destroyed. They cannot be disturbed. They are self-justified ones. Friends, I remember, when I was a brother, we have two ways of waking up the brothers. We had two ways of waking up the brothers. One is called church bell. We have a huge church bell that is heard by the entire village and community there. The other one is a small little bell, which we have to ring exclusively for the brothers. So two brothers will be in charge. Two brothers will be in charge. One brother has to ring the big church bell. The other one has to walk in the living quarters of the brothers and ring the small bell so that brothers get up. And the two of them have to wake up at the same time, and both these bells are to be rung at the same time. Once I heard only church bell was rung. Church bell was rung. The other small bell was not rung. I ran to the brother and who was ringing the church bell and asked him, why small bell is not rung? He said, oh, that brother is still sleeping. Hare, if he is sleeping, you could wake him up. You could tell him, you could wake him up and ask him to ring the bell. He said, no, that is not my duty. My duty is to ring the big bells. So, as Formees, you would understand what would happen. Immediately, director would the rector would call the brother who has not done his duty and rebuke him, isn't it? If you want your companion to be saved, in case, as a matter of fact, there were so many other brothers who were already awoke. You could have requested any one of those brothers to ring the bell. No, this brother, no, he would never does that. Join together and decorate one crib. He alone decorates one crib. He's always that way. I remember, one Christmas, he put this newborn infant Jesus in a cradle like that, and in an extended hand, he wrote joy and enjoy. With that, he went for holidays and never turned back to community. Thank God. It was very difficult to live with that elephant. Friends, the elephants in the Bible are Pharisees. They were so much law-oriented, even though it hurt them even. Even they were not so happy and accommodative of the laws, but still they want to keep up the laws. They did not compromise. Friends, the next animal we have in the community is bear. Father bear or sister bear or brother bear. Friends, even bears are so much very harmless animals. They would not harm anybody unnecessarily. But if they are hungry and if you have food and does not feed them, they would go to any extent of killing. They would become very, very violent. So what does this brother bear or sister bear or brother bear does? If they need any favor from the community, when they request, you have to attend to that. Otherwise, your community will be made into three. Yeah, they would go to any extent, they will abuse. And in the pulpit, they speak so very well. Who, and all those things. And if their ration is two eggs on a breakfast, you have to serve them with 2 eggs. If you say only 1 egg is available today, afternoon I'll try to find 1 more egg. No, nothing doing. They will break the community, they will shout it, and it will be very, very difficult for us to pacify them. Friends, again, Cain is also a good example for bears. Because he had a purpose. He wanted that he be celebrated. When he was not celebrated, he did not hesitate to kill his brother. Friends, next animal is rhinoceros. Have you seen in Discovery channels a group of deers? Group of deers will be sleeping, and there is a lion or a group of lions walking. When they look at those sleeping deers, they would gently move away and go. They would not disturb. They would not disturb. Lions or any mammals would attack another animal only when they are hungry. If they are not hungry, they would not disturb anybody else. Sometimes it is also amusing that lion would drink water, next to it a cheetah, next to it an elephant, next to it a deer and zebra. All the animals would drink water from the same pond without disturbing each other. But this rhinoceros had a very interesting behavior, It's very, very interesting behavior. It is actually not a flesh eater. It is purely a vegetarian animal, but still in its mind, it is so much very egoistic. Rhinoceros is walking into the forest this way, and it sees there is another animal. Let's say a horse is sleeping, not on its way, somewhere else very far. This rhinoceros, who has to go straight, will take a turn and it will go and disturb the sleeping horse. When the horse runs for life, and it will again make its way. When even the lion and tigers are drinking water, they will simply gently drink water from the pond. But when the rhinoceros is drinking, as it is drinking, immediately it will wait. It will lift its head and look to the right and look to the left. It does not want any other animal to drink water at the same time. When the rhinoceros is drinking water, only it has to drink. It is okay that it sees left and right. Sometimes it will see the other side of the pond as well. It keeps drinking water and see the other side. Even the other side, No other animal should drink water. Only rhinoceros has to drink water. Friends, we also have in the communities some brother rhinoceros and sister rhinoceros. Even 1 kilo of mutton, 1 kilo of chicken, and 1 kilo of beef is not enough for them. What will be kept for you is only the vessel. Everything they will take, everything. They would never ever mind about others. They would not walk straight at all. They would not walk straight at all. In any issue, in any other person, they would go involve, make a problem and come back, make a problem and come back, make a problem. Right, wrong, true, false, nothing worry. I think infant has raised its hand. Is it purposeful or accidental? Can you hear me? Is no one hearing me? Infant. Friends, the good example for rhinoceros is Herod in the Bible. Jesus was born somewhere. He pokes his nose everywhere. And, lot more of atrocities he does in order to do away with Jesus. Jesus never worried about him. He was always going on his way. He said, I came for a purpose and I am doing the duty. But he was purely thinking that Jesus is a challenge to his kingship. Friends, next one is hippopotamus. We have so many hippopotamus in the communities. Harmless animals, never disturb anybody else. They are on their own way. Without disturbing anybody else, they eat. Without disturbing else, they sleep. Without disturbing else, they pray. The problem is, without disturbing anybody else, they go as well. There is no disturbance. At the same time, there is no usefulness also. They are never ever protective. They don't give fruit. They are not community oriented, wherever they may be. Sometimes you would feel better this particular person become a reverend brother or sister. If he or she was in the family, nobody may have lived with him because only eating, sleeping, sleeping, eating. Tired of sleeping, also sleeping. Very tired to sleep, so sleeping. Only full of nothing, no usefulness at all. Friends, I remember we had once it happened for me, I was cleaning a battery. And the battery, do you understand battery, the inverter battery, it has some sediment, salt, acidic salt on it. When I poked it, it came and hit in my eyes. Oh my God, it was burning. And I went and reported to the rector. Rector said, immediately go to the eye hospital, try to clear it, because we cannot take risk in eyesight, right? So he was to go for a class. He charged another brother priest to take care of me. And as I was going, this priest asked me, is it paining very much for you? Are you in an urgent to go to this one hospital? Yes, Father, obviously, I said. Why are you asking? Do you know what? I have taken tea in every single shops in this locality. But in this particular shop, I have not taken tea. This is the time this tea shop is open. Can we drink tea and go? He was asking me. My God. I was wondering whether I'll be able to regain my sight. But for him, tea was the matter. I told him, Father, for heaven's sake, drop me in the hospital, treat me, and on our way back, we will take tea, I said. We went there, we treated, we came back. For my ill luck, the shop was closed. And for the whole week, he was telling, because of you, I did not drink tea from that particular tea shop. It is closed. It never happened. I am going to die without taking tea from that particular tea shop. And that's how they would feel. So much so they would even give up their responsibility to others. That's what happened to Esau, poor man. For a simple dinner, he gives his right to this one, the power of his firstborn. He sacrifices to his brother, Esau in the Bible. Friends, next one is dogs. We all know dogs for its gratefulness and gratitude, but there is another peculiar quality these dogs have. When I was a brother, sorry, I have to bring example from my own life. When I was a brother, we went to a particular dam, water reservoir. in that particular dam, they have a problem. People who live around there in the dam reservoir, they had a problem of elephants. In Tamil Nadu, it so happened at one time, the state leader has ordered that we cannot have elephants on our own. In some of the Hindu temples, in a particular religion, Hindu temples, they held the elephants. Even people owned the elephants. Individual people had elephants. So this particular leader ordered all the elephants to be sent to the forest. Those elephants were let in that particular place called Pillur around there. And then in that locality, there were no dogs at all. There were no dogs at all. Do you know why? These dogs think that they are very, very faithful to their master and they are very, very protective of that master. What it does is it starts sniffing, smelling. Whenever it smells elephant, it wants to protect its master. So it so ferociously runs before the elephant and goes before the elephant and starts barking. Wow, 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 wow. At one time, the elephants get annoyed. They come chasing this dog. This dog runs for life. And do you know what they do? They go and hide on behind of their master. The elephant who was chasing the dog so far catch hold of the person who is in charge of the dog and smash them and goes away. In that way, there had been many casualties. So what they did was they did away with all the dogs to be safe. So even though if it is not their problem, these people will go poke to each other. They will get into the business of others. And when there is a problem, they will come safely hide behind others. That's what Zacchaeus does. He does all the possible mischiefs possible. But when it is time, what he runs behind Jesus and hides behind him. Friends, next one is cobra. We also have cobras in the community. Cobras are actually harmless animals. They don't stink anybody and everybody. They are very much territory oriented. If you get little close to a cobra, where you are walking, if there is a cobra, what it does is it acts frozen. It sits like a stick. Once we cross, then the cobra goes away. If you go a little more further, the cobra tries to run. But if you still go closer, the cobra would try to institute its presence just by showing itself. And still you go closer, it gives a noise. Shh. Still you don't hear it, you go closer. It does not bite you, it only does the biting action. Still, if you go closer or you stamp on it, there are 3 types of bites. Simple bite, and it bites and only little poison in you. If you stamp and if the cobra is sufficiently scary, what it does is it bites, injects poison into your body and leaves it. So big orientation towards a territory for cobra. We also have cobras in the community. They always give a clue, never disturb me, do not do this to me. But still, if you don't understand, get closer, 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 you have to be beaten up by them. The example in the Bible is Jezebel. Friends, in order to get the vineyard of Naboth, Jezebel goes to another extent. She said, come on, give it, I will pay you money. No, Naboth did not give it. Jezebel thought that her territory had been broken and she turns a cobra. Friends, next one is skunk. Skunk is a very interesting animal that exists in some parts of United States. It's very tiny ones. It cannot attack any big, huge animals. When it is scary, when it is displeased with this skunk, what it does is it lifts its tail and starts doing a pumping action. Check, 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 check. When skunk looks at some people, to some people, it would develop liking. To some people, the skunk does not like at all, the bodily features and all those things. When it does not like the person, what it does is it turns its back, lifts its tail like this, and start doing pumping action. The person who is looking at the skunk for the first time, so curious, they are interestingly watching. Do you know what it does? It sprays a weird spray into the body of that person. That smell is so vehement. If that person is walking 1 or 2 kilometers away from where you are, typically you know that that person had been attacked by skunk. We also will have skunks in the community. If they like you, they will spare you. If they don't like you, they will spoil your name everywhere. Either they know it or they don't know it. Do you know one person was gossiping towards me, to me, for 1 hour. One of our brother was gossiping. He was talking about a particular brother to me. I was listening to him. Poor me, that was the time I have learned counseling, listening skills, and all those things. So I was giving active listening to him. For 1 hour, he was gossiping. Towards the end, I asked that brother, do you know whom you were talking about? He said, that particular brother. I said, you were talking about me. He was gossiping about me for about an hour to me without knowing that it was I. So that is the quality of skunk. And I know everything was talking as if a first-hand experience. And everything was a Buruda. Friends, next one is brother monkey or sister monkey. If monkeys have the quality of switching over from one place to the other, they keep changing their mind and attitude and everything. Friends, any animal which is hurt would heal the wounds by itself just by licking. But monkeys cannot do that. If they have small little wound, that will be the end of it. Do you know what they do? They start scratching. They start scratching. They start scratching, and because of that, they die. Friends, any clarification so far? Brother Ben, are you there?
Yeah, very much, Father.
Could you play a small little song or something for 2 minutes?
Yes, Father.
Yeah, I just want to break the monotony. I think some people are feeling bored.
Okay. I'll play a action move song.
Yeah, please.
You put your left arm in, your left arm out, in, out, shake it all about. We do the hokey pokey and we turn around. That's what it's all about. Oh, the hokey pokey. Oh, the hokey pokey.
Next one is butterfly. Butterflies are so feeble, so beautiful, but until it is being touched by others. Once somebody else touch it, people who cannot handle it has to lose its the color. It becomes ugly. The other person would get stripped of the color. Sometimes we are also that way. We never understand why formators are saying something to us. We think that our formators are abusing us, but the moment we open up ourselves, no, the moment we cross the boundary and we are into the hands of others, there is a high possibility that we will lose our authenticity. The butterfly in the Bible is the Samaritan woman. Next one is chameleon. People who keep changing colors. They exist not only in the community, they exist all over the world. Whatever you say, according to the people and according to the situation, they keep changing their color. We also have that. Sapphira in the Bible. Sapphira in the Bible. He volunteers. He comes to Jesus for salvation. He embraces Jesus for salvation, but still he relies on money. He changes his mind, so he has to die. Tortoise, rabbit, frog, peacock, sheep, hippopotamus, butterfly, monkey, and chameleon are passive animals. Passive animals in the sense, by themselves, they are not harmful, but by the virtue of the way we treat them, they might turn harmful to us. So we have to be very careful. We have to give them space. Rhinoceros, cat, tigress, porcupine, elephant, bear, dog, cobra are aggressive animals. Friends, we have to set up a boundary when treating them. We need to know and stipulate their space and our space. We need to stipulate their space and our space. As long as we don't cross boundary with these people, as long as we allow them to be by themselves, and as long as we respect their boundary, there will not be problem. The moment we intrude, if you want to institute yourself before them, I am sorry, we will not win. So we have to set up a boundary and treat them well. Friends, skunk is the passive aggressive animals. Friends, you can live with the abusers. If somebody is passive aggressive, if you think that you are passive aggressive, please work on it. It is not at all good for a community living. It is never good for a community living. Friends, do you know they will say yes to everybody in front of the face? They will pretend to be adhering. They will pretend to be accepting, but on behind of the faces, they will spoil your name. So they will be a big help to the communities. Never be passive aggressive. If there is a skunk, please avoid them. Friends, we have two assertive animals. One is dolphin. You know, dolphins are very much human friendly. Dolphins are very much human friendly. They are not only human friendly, they are very, very assertive. So much so, when whale comes to attack them, dolphins can retaliate. All the dolphins will join together. They all join together and chase the whale away. They are so assertive. If you go try to abuse them, they would not allow themselves to be abused. At the same time, they see feeble animals, including human beings or any other animals being abused. Dolphins will be the one to reach out in help. They readily help anybody who is in need inside the water. The tendency to help is so much so. In US, they have deliberately done research. They wanted to explore how dolphins help. So what they did was, they brought a company of actors. They brought a company of actors and enacted a shipwreck. They literally broke the ship in the middle of the ocean where the dolphins live. They have seen something unique. You know, the dolphins did not help humans just like that. The preference of dolphins were pregnant women. They first attended to the pregnant people. Actually, they were not really pregnant. The makeup was made so as to appear them some women to be pregnant. They attended to them. The next people they attended to was the elderly people who were advanced in age. They attended to them. Then the young ones, then the adults. This is how they helped. So dolphins are so assertive. We also will have dolphins in the community. Friends, worry not if somebody else is making fun of you that you are this animal or that animal. All of us can turn to be dolphins. It is not good or bad to have a quality of an animal. What is important is realization. The moment I realize I hold a particular quality of an animal, my brother, my fellow sister have a quality of a particular animal. I need to know how I can interact with them. I need to understand how I can interact with them. Next one is deer. I believe Fr.Wilson has spoken sufficiently on deer. It is a terribly focused animal. No? Its fixation of its goal is so very strong. It is harmless, at the same time it is so protective and so alert. We also can be dolphins and deers. If we are dolphins and deers, praise be to God. If not, let us try to imitate them. Friends, the formula is nothing but the peace prayer which was played at the beginning of the sharing session. This is the formula. If you use this formula, you can live in any jungle with people with any instinct. You will be able to live so amicably well. The peace prayer of Holy Father St. Francis. This is the basic formula. Friends, we will be in an initial community which looks as heaven, but which is not truly heaven. Then we will switch over to a chaotic community wherein our animal instincts are given accent. The earlier we show the animal instinct is better because the chaos has to happen. Don't think initial favor will remain forever. No, at one time there will be problems. If there is no problem in the community, please invite me. I will try to create some problems so that you can fight with each other. You can truly show your true self to each other. Later on, you can understand each other better. Depending on how you treat the chaotic community, consequently, you will enter into a loving community or a pseudo community. The pseudo community has 4 characteristics. It will be a flight community, fright community, fight community. So depending on how we teach, how we treat this chaotic nature communities, then we will get either into pseudo community or loving community. Because it is a formula, shall we all read it together? Excuse me. Sorry. Can you look at this and read? Shall we all read it together? You can unmute yourself.
Father, if it is in the projection mode, that would be better.
Okay. Let me try. Yeah. Shall we read it together? Wait a minute. It went to the other screen.
It's not on.
Lord,
make me an instrument of your steady hatred. Where there is injury, but where there is doubt, faith, where there is despair, hope, sadness, joy.
Father, please unmute yourself. Please, Father, can I hear?
Father, thank you.
Unmute.
Mother cannot hear. Can you repeat?
Please unmute yourself.
Mother, we cannot hear you.
Father.
Mother, please unmute your. Mother, we cannot hear.
Friends, you can pray with me. I will read myself. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that you are pardoned, and it is in dying that you are born to eternal life. Amen. Friends, it's a very good time being with you. In case if you have any quick clarification, we don't have much time. Anybody has doubt can ask for. As much as I could, I shall clarify. Thanks for being cooperative, so enthusiastic. Sorry, I could not help. If we are in person, we could have done it together better. Otherwise, no, because of a difference of what is that network strength, it literally sounding cacophonic. So I have to stop you. I did not mind to hurt you people. Friends, no doubt, we don't have any doubt in two occasions. When we understand everything, we don't get any doubt. When we understand nothing as well, we don't get any doubt. I do not know where we stand. Sorry, that's three things. Only three type of community I only mentioned before. Flight, fright, freeze. Only three. That was a slip of tongue because I was also aged here. Anybody wants? Everybody is unmuted.
Yeah, one small doubt, Father, about the monkey part of it. How people are related to the monkey instinct. Just wanted to know that.
See, monkeys keep changing its mind, right? If there is one problem, they would not treat the problem, rather they make the problem bigger. You see, any other animal, which is say a dog is hurt in its leg, it has a wound. What it does is it keeps licking and heals the wound by itself. But what happened to all it keeps scratching. When the wound becomes bigger and eventually the monkey has to die. I have given the example. I do not know whether you get the example from the Bible. That is a rich man who goes to Jesus and asks, what do I need to do get an eternal life? Jesus says, do this. This man says, I have done all these things from the beginning. When he says that, Jesus looks at him and says, one more thing is lacking. You are so rich. Sell all you have and go distribute to the poor, which he is not capable of doing. You understand? So this is when there is a small thing, they will somehow make it bigger and they keep changing their mind. That is the quality of a monkey. Hope I have answered you. Thank you. Someone is asking, what are you? Which animal you belong to? Which characteristic? I have everything. Friends, if we don't have anything, do we have any doubt? Shall we do small little thing? You can think of an animal. You can all unmute and we will start shouting that animal, right? Shall we do that?
Yes.
Dolphin.
Dear
It is clear. Now everything is clear.
Thank you, Father.
Thank you, Father.
So very happy. Thank you so much. Bye. God bless you.
Bye, Father.
Bye, Father. Thank you, Father.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Thank you,
Father.
Father.
Very interesting, very enlightening.